Today is Tuesday, the 16th of April 2019. I'm Keith Warr, and welcome to another episode of Homeless in Titusville. And today we're catching up with Demian
San Martin.
Okay.
What's going on, guys?
So, Demian, tell me a little bit about your experience living here homeless in Titusville. Since last time we talked, you've had a lot of stuff. It's been almost about a month.
Well, as far as my personal experiences, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Being homeless sucks. That's definitely for sure.
Well, what's the biggest thing that has been sucking?
Well, not having a place, a roof over your head, the security. But it's also, I guess it's a double-edged knife because it also opened up my eyes to a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any interaction with the police here?
I did have interaction with the police department.
Positive or negative?
I'm going to be honest with you, it was positive.
Okay.
It was positive. I've never had a negative interaction with the police here. Just the issue of being homeless is what's frustrating here in Titusville.
So no trespasses? You didn't get trespassed from anywhere?
No trespassing, nothing like that.
Okay.
Nothing like that. And, talking with the officers, I explained, who I am and what I'm doing, and I asked for their input. And to be truthful, a lot of them said, listen, we really don't want to enforce these rules, we don't have a choice in the matter.
Right.
And I guess I could understand that. I kind of want to talk about this coalition thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, whatever's on your mind and you'd like to speak with me about.
Because this has everything to do with the police interaction and all that. So the Brevard Coalition is coming into town this week to do outreach for the homeless, which I think it's a great thing. I invited them to Under the Bridge Ministries. You ever heard of?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Great people.
Oh my God, what a great thing they're doing. I invited them out to go to Under the Bridge because they can make contact with homeless people there. And I told them that I was going to be taking pictures, and they messaged me back saying they're not interested in any media coverage when they do outreach to homeless because of law enforcement. They don't want to risk homeless people going to jail with the cops finding out where their camps are at.
Okay.
And in my mind, the first thing I thought of is, well, what makes you think they don't know where these camps are at? I'm not saying they know where every camp is.
Right.
But they do know where these camps are. And that was confirmed. One of my interactions was with a corporal from Titusville Police Department. And he told me that he would be happy to arrange for the police escort for the coalition to these camps. Which I think it's a great thing, because you're providing security, safety, you're getting the police department involved, and you're opening up a relationship between the coalition and the police department.
Right.
And the reality is the police department are the first responders when it comes to this issue. They're out on the streets 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Who gets the call at 3 o'clock in the morning when something's going on with a homeless person or at the camp?
Right.
And the corporal just informed me just a couple days ago, this other camp, there was a dead woman in the camp, and they had to respond to it. They didn't kick everybody out because it was natural causes. They didn't kick everybody out. They don't want to kick anybody out, but what other choice do they have? Where, if a citizen calls.
Right, if the property owner calls and it's their property, we have to respect the property rights of that person, and I get that.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, if you're poor and you don't have the money, basically it's indirectly illegal to be homeless, right? Because you're always trespassing somewhere. You're always on somebody else's property.
Correct. And this is why it's important that I believe, and I read a whole 100-page report on this, that the coalition, the nonprofit organizations, the small church groups, and law enforcement start working together. There's here in the state of Florida, Pinellas County, Broward County sheriffs, they're starting a program where they're training officers, certain officers, they're giving them 40 hours worth of training in what the issue of homelessness is. Then they have them go out on the streets and build a relationship with homeless people. So in the future, when there's a call to a camp, it's those officers that are responding.
Right.
And they're being tied to nonprofit organizations or rehabs. And if they come into a camp because there was a call and somebody they establish a relationship with says, listen, I want out, I need help, that officer can make a phone call and transport that person to this organization.
Okay. That makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So you were telling me that you had a stance on what I was doing and stuff like that. So go ahead, speak your mind.
So, I got to know you over the course of the weeks that I've been here, and I see what you do out here. Honestly, I think you're the guy to kind of continue trying to pull all these people together. You have a rapport with the homeless people, which is important because you got to build trust.
Right. Because the average person can't walk up to somebody and go, hey, you homeless? Be like, I'm not going to trust you. I don't know you.
Right.
You have to have that, quote, street cred.
And, well, it's not just also the street cred, but as a homeless person, they don't want to sit there and openly admit and say, yeah, you know what, I want to get off the streets.
Right.
I need help out. When they talk to someone, they want to, just like any human probably would do, show that they're okay. No, we're fine. This is not a problem. Pride, exactly. So you have this rapport with the homeless here in Titusville. You are known throughout the groups. Your name is known. And you have a community following, and instructing and informing the community on what's happening is crucial, and I think you're that guy for that.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think it should be so taboo. And the other thing, when I go out and talk to you or anybody else, I would hope that you've always felt that I've been respectful towards you or anybody else that's on the street. Sometimes some people will say something stupid like, hey bum, get a job. I've seen that kind of stuff. I know you're doing some stuff, you're on there, you're trying to document what you're doing, stuff like that, and you've had a little bit of negativity thrown your way, right? People saying like, you're scamming or you're not, legit or whatever.
Right.
Like, what has been your experience as a homeless person? How have other people treated you?
I'm promoting my work while I'm out here, and I don't know why, but people are saying it's a scam. They're saying it's a PR stunt. I'm just fighting my way out with a skill that I have, and I have a passion behind it, so I'm pushing forward. I decided I'm going to make this my career, and I'm not going to give up. I want to be a fine art photographer, and I'm at the bottom, so I can't get any lower. I could only go up.
Right.
So I'm going to go through the struggles. I work hard as hell every day on it. And I'm proud of what I'm putting out so far, and I'm building a little following. I got my positive, but you get the negative with it. And, to the negative
I certainly
people,
get negative. I get people that think all kinds of bizarre things about me.
Right.
It's just the nature of human beings.
I guess so. And when it comes to this topic, though, it shouldn't be.
Right.
Because homeless is not just about the person that's on the streets. There's a bigger issue attached to it. Just like I saw your last interview, with the gentleman with the kidney. He has all these medical issues, and he receives a check, but he was talking about how much money it takes. He has to drink a lot of water, and he has to, and his money doesn't stretch long enough for him to maintain a roof over his head. And
right, he's got no bad habits. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't gamble, he doesn't do any of the things that people label and go, oh, well, that guy, because he doesn't do X, Y, and Z, that's why he's on the street. Oh, he smokes 99-cent cigars. If he didn't do that, he could afford to live at Trump Tower.
Yeah, exactly. Because like I remember you said, 99-cent cigars is really what's going to change it.
Right. That is not what is separating that guy from being on the streets. Believe me, if it was only 99 cents that was separating that guy from being on the streets and not being on the streets, he would quit the smoking.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. See, the issue is so deeper than that people are not realizing it. It's not because of the 99-cent cigars, and it's not entirely because of the addictions. Economically, what's happening is
housing is not affordable.
Housing's not affordable. When you get put on the streets, when I read this report, it takes 3 years to get back into normal society, and we don't have the systems in place for that here.
We were just talking to the Parks and Rec guy from Poland, and he had a very interesting point, and I have thought this many a times, if you have a guy on the street, he's on the street, he doesn't work, he has nothing, and then you have another guy who kills himself 50, 60 hours a week at a job, and he still has nothing. Why kill yourself for nothing when you can do nothing for nothing? If you can get that same nothing for doing absolutely nothing, why would you kill yourself?
Right.
So that some wealthy person can have a clean car or an iPad or a I don't know, the list goes on, and I get that. There is a lot of that frustration.
And there is, so that's, the problem is it's bigger than just the guy that's panhandling on the side of the road. And
let's break the myth about that. There are people that think that there's this mythological guy that exists that goes back to his mansion after panhandling all because it is so lucrative, right? I mean, you could make a whopping $3, $4, $5 an hour standing out in the sun.
I don't panhandle, but I've seen people that panhandle, and I've read a lot of those.
Are they making thousands of dollars?
No, man. I've read those stories. Panhandlers are making $30, $40 an hour.
Right.
That's just
such bullshit.
It is. It really is. It's ridiculous. Now, I'm sure there's that special someone, and there has been people, just like we were talking about, that GoFundMe campaign that happened where the homeless vet pretend or whatever
supposedly gave $20 to the wife that was out of gas.
And raised $400. Yeah,
right. And then that husband and wife spent all the money. And
yeah, I'm sure there's that panhandler out there, and they have followed some that live in a home, or
but
live
that's
in a house.
0.00001%.
Right, and they're probably sitting there pointing at the homeless people, saying, "Go get a job." Meanwhile, they're out there panhandling, and they're living in a home. So the average panhandler, from what I've seen out here, they're not doing that at all.
$3, $4, $5 an hour. Maybe not even.
But yeah, let's say if they wanted $5 an hour, they can get it. But it's not enough to get them off the streets. They're not living.
Not even close.
It's not. I don't. It's not, and that's not the problem of being homeless to begin with. Actually, it's a great thing you mentioned panhandling. Albuquerque, New Mexico, the mayor has a program called The Better Way, which when there's a panhandler out on the street, they got a community, a city bus, county van that picks them up. We'll go up to them and say, "Hey, would you like to work today?" Picks them up. If they say yeah, they'll take them to work, and then to get paid, they take them to what's called the Hope Center, which is a nonprofit organization that has caseworkers there to start building a relationship with them. So they go, they get there, they get paid, they'll go back out on the street, and what they come to find is the guy's there the next morning waiting for this van to come pick them up, and it's been a successful program.
Right now they're making changes. Now there's some progress.
They're making progress. People are actually going into these drug rehab programs that they weren't when they were out on the street, because they build a relationship with the city workers, and then they go to the Hope Center, and they have faith in humanity again, so they go and they're getting help. Utah, 91% they dropped their homelessness because they implemented a housing first.
Right. Regardless of what their issue is, get them in a place first, and then treat their mental illness, their addiction, and so on and so forth.
Treat everything after the fact, and they're more successful that way. And it's cost effective. It's cheaper than
incarceration.
Leaving them out on the streets. I don't know if I'm going to say it, having the coalition come out and try to sneak around. It would just be better if everybody organized and looked at some of these other models that are happening across the United States and implemented here. Titusville is small. It could be done. It could be. Right. It could change. I mean,
it could change some lives, and it could change the thing. What's going on here in the city.
And that's the important thing. When I hear these people saying, well, law enforcement, or well, we're not going to go about it this way. You're dealing with people's lives that are out on the streets.
Yeah, but don't you think that politically, who wants to admit to homelessness here in Titusville when we have Elon Musk and all his, hundreds of millions of dollars on the line with SpaceX. Why would they want to say, oh, we do have a problem, we need to address this?
Well, I'm not sure what the political part is going on there,
But
because I haven't looked into it.
I think that's there. I
But
think
this
that
is what I would do then. So if I was the coalition, I would definitely get in contact with the police department. I'd definitely be in contact with the mayor, and I would start trying to create a program so we could say, hey, Elon Musk, would you like to help? We could use some of your funding.
Absolutely. I'm sure there are some jobs that some of these people would qualify to, or that they would do, you know. And also, oftentimes you and I have discussed this, how many, you know, like I came to you, I came on the streets, those organizations have brick and mortar buildings, and they're like, well, they could walk through the door anytime, but we discussed all of the obstacles, the transportation, the health, so on and so forth. Those organizations need to hit the streets and go to the problem, not have those people with the problem come to them, because it's not going to happen. I don't think mentally they're in that space.
And if the organizations can't do it, that's why I build the relationship with the police department, because the police department comes in contact with them. And instead of taking, because the police department are going to transport them somewhere, they take them to the county jail, you know, which ends up costing taxpayers more money.
I came across a deaf homeless guy. He had, I would say, 40 or 50 arrests simply for trespassing. Okay, now think about it. When you and I go into a grocery store or something, we overhear bits and pieces of conversation of what the law is and so on. This guy gets nothing unless somebody directly says something to him. And are you telling me that he's nearly 70 years old, he's gone in and out of the jail, that they can't have a social worker there to talk to like, why did you get arrested? What's going on? You know, why? Something. I would think they would have to have some kind of mental health services when they're seeing these same faces over at the jail.
Well, yeah, definitely in the jail, and you know, it would be nice instead of taking them to. I mean, to start would be good, the jail, but again, the jail would probably incur that cost. It'd be cheaper if it was.
But either way, the taxpayer's on the hook for it. Either way.
Right.
So, you know, if we get them when, you know, like I said, if they can't come to the organization, maybe the organization goes and they're like, as you know, there are a lot of homeless that go in and out of jail simply for the open containers, for self-medicating. They go in there in and out of the jail for trespassing.
Right.
It seems to me it's like the perfect hub for those organizations to go there and to interview and classify these people and somehow help them.
Definitely, you know, that's a great start, you know, and just them talking to each other and working with each other, you know, this issue is across the country. It's
right, and it's bigger than any one organization. It's bigger than me.
Yeah.
You know, it's bigger than any organization, and you're right, we need to get multiple people involved.
Right, everybody needs to sit down at the table to really deal with it, you know. You know, it really isn't just about the guy that's on the streets, you know. The more people that I talk to, or a lot of the people that contact me and that are following me and, you know, following my work, they're on the brink of being homeless. I had one lady, you know, she was going to donate $20 to my cause, and I told her absolutely not, because she's $80 away from being on the streets, you know, and she's an older lady. She's in her 70s. You know, why is a 70-year-old woman, you know, going through something like that?
Right.
So it's a bigger problem than just what we see on the streets, you know, and it needs to be addressed. Right. So that way, if it does happen to this family, or it happens, because a lot of it's temporarily. A lot of people go onto the streets temporarily. But it could be, you know, it could lead to a more permanent thing if it's not addressed quicker, you know.
So you also said that you are about to pick up and leave Titusville.
Yes.
Where do you think you're going to go? What's your future? What are you trying to do?
I was going to go up north, but I still think I'm headed down to Cocoa Beach because I want to do that.
So you're going to stay in Florida?
For now.
When you say north, you don't mean like New York or Canada?
Well, I'm eventually going to push up north, but there's that guy that's doing the 22 days, 22 waves campaign to help raise money for mental illness for vets.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to be surfing on Cocoa Beach for 22 days in a row.
22 days in a row,
and
no
that
matter what.
Starts on what day?
The 20th of April. And no matter what time the high tides come in, and the tide charts call it for at 11 o'clock at night, 4 o'clock in the morning, he's going to be out there. So I want to be out there with him and documenting it, and you know, help promote his cause, because mental illness, vets, again, you see them out here on the streets, you know. So it all comes to play together, you know. You know.
Awesome. Well, that is like super good stuff, man. All right. Well, is there anything else you wanted to say before we go?
No. I just hope, Keith, that you know we're definitely going to keep in contact, but I hope you become the guy to continue pushing this. No editing.
No editing.
I called you out on this.
Yeah, you called me out on this. Well, I want to do a little something more. I have, some issues of my own holding me back, physical and mental of my own. But yeah, I mean, we'll have to see where that plays out in the future here. I don't know how near future, but I think meeting you has definitely changed something for me in the way I do stuff, because as you know, most guys aren't in the headspace that you're in.
Right. And another thing, I'm hoping to kind of create a fund that I don't want to manage, and maybe you could find, I know you have some of your viewers, or you have some connections that, I can go out and really promote this cause and have donations come in, because Titusville's been my home with being homeless, and I think it'd be a great place to really start trying to help. So if I could raise money and promote it, have it go directly to someone you designate, and you guys work and manage it and figure it out from there.
Well, we'll have to look into that in the future and all that good stuff, but I appreciate you taking a couple minutes to do the interview, and nice getting to know you. So you guys can friend me at KEITHWOHR on Facebook. You can also become a member of Homeless in Titusville Facebook page. You can leave me a message on YouTube. I do see those messages. I will say that I have to approve all the comments when you guys put them on there, because some people don't know how to have civil discourse. But anyways, I just want to say to you guys, may you be just as blessed as you have blessed others. And until next time, thanks for watching.